If you're a young guy and you think you have low testosterone, then I'm here to debunk a few myths. Because if you're a young guy and you think you have low testosterone, there's a real easy fix to this issue. You don't have hypergonadism. There isn't something wrong with you. You're not broken. If you're in your teens or early 20s or even 30s, then the chances are that this is a very easy fix. There are some things that you aren't doing properly in your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is the issue. There isn't something that's not functioning well in your body. Like 99% of the time, there isn't something that's broken about you. And that was the case for me. My lifestyle was just a bit shit. And there was just some things that I had to fix to get me back on track that were actually very like low-hanging fruit, very kind of obvious things if you think about it. Your lifestyle is the issue. I listened to a Andrew Huberman podcast a while ago, and he basically talks about 4 things you need to address when there's an issue in your life. The first thing is you need to look at your lifestyle and behavior. So that's the first priority. The second thing is diet. What the hell just happened? All right. The first thing is your lifestyle and behaviors. Your second thing is diet. The third thing is supplementation. And the fourth thing is prescription drugs. So prescription drugs being the fourth thing, that's the last thing you need to resort to. The first thing you need to resort to, the lowest hanging fruit, is your lifestyle. And in this video, I'm going to give you a 5-step guide. Before we start, there's a link in the description to join my community and get quicker results, just to fast track all the nonsense, basically. Everything I learned that got me from 270 nanograms per deciliter to 870 free testosterone, 21 nanograms per deciliter. There is a 5-step lifestyle focused guide for low testosterone that I have found that will fix 99% of your problems. There are some very simple things that you can do in your life most days, if not every day, to completely reverse this issue. Because as we said, lifestyle and behaviors need to be the first priority. Because if your lifestyle is good and you're doing some certain habits and behaviors that are good for testosterone, then this is not going to be an issue that you're going to have to face again. And it's going to be something that we can permanently iron out for good. So these are the lowest hanging fruits of increasing your testosterone lifestyle focus guide. Number 1, train early in the morning. It doesn't really matter what type of exercise that you do. Now, there may be some types of exercise that are better for testosterone, such as lifting weights or high intensity interval training. But regardless, if you go on a long, slow run, or if you go on a walk, if you're not very experienced in exercise and training, it will have beneficial effects because it also runs into your self-esteem and your self-image and your confidence. So if you do something early in the morning that boosts your self-esteem and boosts your confidence, you're more likely to carry that good momentum throughout the rest of the day and do more testosterone optimization activities, things that will be beneficial for your testosterone, like socializing, like eating well. It's the endorphins that you get from the training as well, not just the type of training that you do. To give you an example, if you go on an early run in the morning and in the afternoon, you're more likely to meet up with a friend because you're in a better mood. You increase that social hormone, which is oxytocin, which also benefits your testosterone. The higher oxytocin benefits testosterone as well. Number 2, you want your lunch or your meal after training, preferably, to be high protein and to be high fat. Specifically high fat because that boosts cholesterol, and cholesterol is the building block for testosterone. So the more cholesterol you eat, which comes from high fat foods, avocado, cheese, eggs, olive oil, the more testosterone your body is able to produce. And we pair this with high protein because that will repair the muscle damage that occurs in step 1 in your training. So a keto diet is quite beneficial for this. 3, work on a meaningful project. This is more on the mental side of things, which also ties into your self-image beliefs and your self-esteem and your confidence. Specifically, it's a meaningful project, so it has to be purpose-driven. It has to be beneficial to someone else, not just yourself. So we've already focused on yourself, you've already trained early, you've already eaten well. That's kind of filling up, that's kind of fixing your own oxygen mask. They say on the plane, if a plane crashes, you need to fix your own mask before you fix someone else's, because you can't help someone else if you're dead. So focus on yourself first. Those are the first 2. And this one is a meaningful project, something that maybe benefits society a bit, benefits someone else, something that's a bit of a purpose for you. It could just be a hobby like what I'm doing now, benefiting someone else, or it could just be maybe working on a business or doing something creative, maybe anything really. Social media, it could be anything. So this has self-esteem benefits, this has confidence benefits, it improves your positive beliefs and your self-image as well. Self-image is very important for testosterone, something that's overlooked a lot actually. Number 4, meditate. Now meditation does something that is very, very beneficial for testosterone. That is increasing your parasympathetic nervous system activation. Now what you need to understand when you look at testosterone and you look at the stress hormone cortisol, this has an inverse relationship. So if cortisol is high, testosterone drops, and if cortisol is low, testosterone will go up. So you can't. So one has to be low for the other to be high. Both can't be high, because if you're in a very stressed state, your testosterone will not be as high, because you need to be in this relaxed parasympathetic nervous system state that lets your testosterone get produced. Now, to describe quickly what parasympathetic means and what sympathetic means. Your parasympathetic is your rest and digest, so you might have heard of that before. And your sympathetic is your fight or flight. So your sympathetic nervous system is the state that your brain and your body go into when, maybe looking back to the caveman days, there's a tiger outside your cave, just to give an example, and the tiger's about to attack your family. You're not in the parasympathetic state. You're not in the rest and digest state. You are wired. So you're not in this state when there's danger. If there's a fight, or if there's something like a confrontation, your body and your brain goes into a sympathetic nervous system arousal. So this is the nervous system state that produces testosterone, that produces that rest and digest response. Another way of thinking about it that I heard online is, if you look at sexual scenarios, you look at parasympathetic is point, so that gives you an erection, and shoot is the ejaculation phase. So when you're in parasympathetic, you stay in that aroused scenario where you don't ejaculate, and when you do, you're in a sympathetic, which is that kind of state when your body is like overwhelmed with cortisol, stress hormones, and you go into that and you nut, basically. So relaxation, parasympathetic, sympathetic, stress, cortisol, that's what you need to think. So this is like two different things. So you want to be in this state when you are looking at improving testosterone. So it's like two ends of the coin. These are inverses, they're opposites. Number 5 is also similar to increasing parasympathetic activation. Read before bed. Now, I did this last night, funnily enough, when I haven't been for the last few weeks, and I found that sleep was probably 40% better just by reading before bed. Because when you are on your phone or when you are watching something, your brain goes into a very overstimulated frame of mind, and that doesn't set you up well at all for going to sleep. So doing this, even I literally read 2 pages, and that makes a huge difference. Massive difference. So this is something that I will definitely recommend, that puts you in the state, as we discussed, parasympathetic. And as I'm sure you know, the more you sleep, the more testosterone you're able to produce. So if sleep is good, this is one of those lifestyles that if it's nailed on, your testosterone will see massive gains. So this lifestyle behavior in particular is for sleep. So this one is just for sleep, and it's actually quite an overlooked trick that you can use. Forget all the temperature of the room, nose tape, eye mask, mouth tape, eating, whatever. This is something that if you do all those other good habits and you're on your phone before bed, then it seriously fuck up your sleep. So just to quickly run through them again. This behavior is for physical health, which also benefits your testosterone, cardiovascular health, just your overall function as a human being. Think of a caveman. They're going to run in the morning and try and catch a boar for their family to cook for dinner. This one, you're not eating high carb, and that puts your body in a more awakened state. You don't feel as sluggish, and this, you get the benefits from ketone, from cholesterol on your testosterone, which is really good as well. This improves muscle damage. Working on a meaningful project, that is something that will benefit society, which benefits your self-esteem, your confidence, just your overall mental health as well. And this one, parasympathetic, it improves your body's ability and your brain's ability to go into that rest and digest state, which is so important. You could even do this one soon before bed, and then tie it into this one, which could help quite a lot. That could be something you could try. That's all. That is a 5-step lifestyle guide to absolutely make a night and day difference on your testosterone. So it's lifestyle focused. So as I said at the start, that Andrew Huberman podcast I listened to, think of it like this. So you have 4 layers in a pyramid. You have 4 priorities. So number 1, that's the most important. That's your foundation. Number 2, second most important. number 3 third, and number 4 fourth. So this layer is the most important foundation. Think of this as a testosterone pyramid. I've taught this in the school community as well, which you can find in the description if you want. So that is, if we think of that as testosterone, number 1 is the most important. So this is your lifestyle and behaviors. This is your diet, this is your supplementation, and this is your prescription drugs. So this whole video is focused on this, on our lifestyle. And this 5-step lifestyle guide is great for addressing all those factors: training, sleep, nutrition, mental health, parasympathetic activation. You get the gist. So I hope you found that useful. This is something that I used last year that got me out of quite a bad rut when my testosterone was at 270 nanograms per deciliter, and I got it to 870, which is almost outside of the healthy range. So it tripled naturally, obviously, through following this. This is something I did the whole summer, and that made a huge difference. So the result went from 270 to 870 in 3 months, and my free T went from 8 nanograms per deciliter to 21, which the healthy range for that is between 5 and 20. So I got it outside of the range. From a really low point of 8 nanograms per deciliter, which is really bad. So your free testosterone is what your body actually uses, by the way. So if that's high, your every single aspect of your life as a young man will be so much better. So if you want quick results for that, there's a complete dummies guide linked in the description. It's an online community. It's very cheap. So have a look at that if you're in the state of having low testosterone. Similar things like this video are taught in there, but just in a more detailed fashion, and you get access to me and my business partner as well, like for that constant support. So have a look at that if you're interested. I hope you found that useful. Until next time.